Hey, it's day 24 of 3 miles a day for 31 days. And brr, it's cold out here and it's cloudy and gloomy. And so I'm thankful for this challenge because it's the only reason that I left my house today, because it is gross outside. And I honestly need fresh air. So today I did not listen to a podcast. Today I really wanted to reflect on what I listened to yesterday. So if you're following along, I listened to a Jenna Kutcher podcast, and she talked about things that she does the week between Christmas and New Year's, when a lot of times we kind of are just kind of still and stagnant. We're just waiting for the new year to start. But she really encouraged that we take some time to reflect upon what we did last year and make some goals and the way we set our goals for the next year. So I really wanted to just take some time when I was out for my run just to really think about what worked for me last year, where I invested most of my time, where I put a lot of my energy, what do I want for next year, what am I happy about from last year. And so some of the things that I've really been working on, and I really have come to the realization this past year, I spent a lot of time and energy feeling stuck, feeling frustrated, feeling anxious. And most of that was because of COVID and the quarantine and feeling powerless to do certain things that I wanted to do, go certain places I wanted to go. And I really just got stuck in that place. And that didn't serve me. So I really wanted to move past that, because I think that this next year, there are going to be some restrictions and things outside of my control. I guess in life there always are. But there are going to be some things that I'm not going to be able to control or that I'm not going to love. And how do I show up for that? How do I respond to that? How do I handle that? How do I show my kids? How do we deal with things that disappoint us or don't go our way, or things we can't control? Like, I cannot control if I can go to a restaurant in New York City, or if I can go to a Broadway show, or I can go back to work in the healthcare field. I can't control if I'm going to be barred from doing those things. But what I can control is my attitude, pivoting and coming up with something different, making the best of the situation. Even if I was really bogged down last year, and this isn't fair. How can this be happening? This is unjust. And I'm discriminated against, and just almost like a little bit of a victim mentality, which I'm not proud of. I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up over it, but I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to change the way I'm showing up, and I'm going to change the the attitude that I have. And the other thing so that was something I really need to work on, and I just had to, acknowledge that and then move on and make the necessary changes. The other thing is, some of the things I'm really excited about. I'm excited about how I've improved the relationship with my kids and drawn closer to them. Not that it was bad, but I've gotten closer to them and my husband, and just watching things really come together and connect, and because I've plugged in. So I was really proud of myself for plugging into them, and how I've responded to things with them. They're teenagers, so that's a whole another topic, but just showing how I respond to attitude or pushback from my kids, and how I can be productive in that, and how I can get my point across, and how we can improve communication instead of being defensive and them getting defensive, and teaching them how to deal with conflict and resolution. So I'm really proud that that's really coming along, and I really want to work more on that next year. I'm excited for my business and where it's going. And one of the things that I really want to move forward in next year is just really being more disciplined in structure and having set times in which I work, although my job is flexible. I just need it to I need to rein in a little bit of that flexibility. And of course I can decide when I'm going to work, but having a set weekly schedule for myself, using that flexibility to my advantage, but making sure that I have set times which are not distracted times. So I'm going to set that up. But so those are some goals. Those are some things I'm proud of. Some of the things that I just thought about, just implementing these plans for my business and my family. I'll be working on that for the rest of the week, and coming up with a focus for my year. So maybe some people do a word of the year, but just my focus on the year, and getting crystal clear on what I want and defining that. So that's what I thought about today. It all came from that podcast I listened to yesterday, and me sitting down and focusing on that today is all because of the fact that I've chosen to take on this challenge and add my own little twist to it. So, all right, on to day 25.